it's not just you celebrate innovation in technology, which I want to talk about, but also innovation in the business models on the business side of things. And so New Relic is an instance of that.
So yeah, my last company had to sell. Well, it didn't have to sell, but it made sense to sell my last company at in '06, and I thought deeply on why that was, and it really came down to the business model. That was a traditional enterprise software companies, license and maintenance enterprise software companies. You can spend 9, 12 months with the customer, and then they sign up for a very large check. And basically, it's very hard to predict when that customer is going to say yes. And usually after they say yes, it's another 90 days before you actually get a contract out of them. So anyway, that's a really painful business model to execute to, because it's hard to predict what the revenues, and it's very expensive to build out that field presence. So when I started New Relic, I didn't want to be purely dependent on just enterprise business, and I didn't want it to be a licensed business where it was very lumpy, because it's really, it's hard to sleep at night if you don't know whether or not, especially in the last 7 days of the quarter, where like 70% of revenues could come in, and those are paying salaries, right? So I wanted a subscription business. I wanted a business where, how do you reach the whole market? And the way you do that, I think, in business software is you have to build a product that's so simple, so easy to use, that the customer can see the value without the help of a salesperson. And there's a lot of effort that has to go into the design and thought about the onboarding process that may seem obvious to folks in this room because of all the great consumer products you use, but it's actually pretty rare in enterprise software. So if you design a product with the business model in mind, it can really just it can reduce your distribution costs, because now we give out a T-shirt with Data Nerd on it, and somebody tries it out and they fall in love and they want to become a customer. That compresses our sales cycle dramatically. Now we do have an enterprise business as well that does have that traditional sales model, but it's great to have that balanced subscription business of small companies. And that business model was by design, but it started with the product being engineered for the business model. You can't just glue the business model you want to a product that isn't well suited to it. And that's why I think the incumbents are having trouble sort of being successful in the SaaS world. The products aren't engineered for the kind of business model that I was just describing.